Hey plant fam, welcome back to The Sprout. Today we're talking about one of the most beloved and easiest houseplants in the world, the Heartleaf Philodendron. Philodendron hederaceum. You've seen it everywhere. Those cascading vines with shiny, heart-shaped green leaves, sometimes solid green, sometimes variegated with yellow or white. It's the plant that hangs from macrame hangers in bohemian living rooms, it trails from bookshelves, it climbs up moss poles, and the best part? It's almost impossible to kill. Heartleaf Philodendron is the perfect plant for beginners. It tolerates low light, it forgives missed waterings, it grows fast, it's easy to propagate, and it cleans your air. In this video, I'll teach you everything you need to know. Light, water, soil, humidity, temperature, fertilizing, pruning, propagation, training on poles, common problems, and why this plant is so hard to mess up. Before we dive in, if you're new here, hit that subscribe button. We put out new plant care videos every week, and I don't want you to miss the next one. Also, drop a comment below. Do you have a Heartleaf Philodendron? How long have you had it? I'd love to hear about it. Now, let's get into it. First, let's talk about why Heartleaf Philodendron is so popular. It's native to Central America and the Caribbean. In the wild, it's a climber. It uses its aerial roots to attach to trees and climb toward the light. Indoors, it's versatile. You can let it trail from a hanging basket, you can let it climb a moss pole or trellis, or you can let it sprawl across a shelf. The leaves are heart-shaped, glossy, and typically 2 to 4 inches long. The stems can grow several feet long in a single season. There are also beautiful varieties. The standard heartleaf is solid bright green. Brasil has green leaves with a yellow or lime green stripe down the center. Micans has velvety, iridescent leaves that shift from green to bronze to purple. Silver stripe has cream and green variegation. All have the same easy care. Now, let's start with light. Heartleaf Philodendron is very adaptable. It grows well in bright, indirect light, but it also tolerates medium and low light. In bright, indirect light, near an east or west window, it grows fast and full. The leaves are larger, and variegated varieties show their best colors. In low light, a dark corner or north-facing window, it grows slower. The stems get longer between leaves, a condition called leggy. The variegation may fade, but the plant will survive. What it cannot take is direct sun. Direct sun will burn the leaves, causing yellow or brown patches. So bright, indirect light is best, but low light is okay. Now, let's talk about temperature. Heartleaf Philodendron likes it warm. It prefers temperatures between 65 and 85 degrees Fahrenheit. It can handle down to 60 degrees, but growth will slow. Below 50 degrees, the plant will suffer. Keep it away from cold drafts, air conditioning vents, and cold windowsills in winter. Now, let's talk about humidity. Heartleaf Philodendron is not picky about humidity. It tolerates average indoor humidity. In dry homes, especially in winter with the heater running, it may get brown leaf edges. To increase humidity, you can use a humidifier, group plants together, or set the pot on a pebble tray. Misting helps temporarily, but is not as effective. This plant is very forgiving, so don't stress about humidity. Now let's talk about watering. This is where people sometimes have trouble. Heartleaf Philodendron likes its soil to dry out a bit between waterings. Overwatering is the most common killer. Here's my rule. Water when the top 1 to 2 inches of soil feels dry. Stick your finger in the soil. If it's dry at your first knuckle, it's time to water. In most homes, that means watering about once a week in spring and summer, and every 10 to 14 days in fall and winter. When you water, do it thoroughly until water runs out of the drainage holes. Empty the saucer. Never let your philodendron sit in standing water. Use room temperature water. The plant will also tell you when it's thirsty. The leaves will look slightly droopy. Water it, and within a few hours, it perks right up. Now let's talk about soil. Heartleaf Philodendron needs well-draining soil. Regular potting mix works well, but it's better to add perlite for drainage. Mix 2 parts standard potting soil with 1 part perlite. The pot must have drainage holes. Don't go too big. A pot that's too large holds too much water and can lead to root rot. Repot every 2 to 3 years in spring. Go up 1 pot size. Now let's talk about fertilizing. Heartleaf Philodendron is a fast grower in good conditions. It needs fuel. During spring and summer, feed it once a month with a balanced liquid fertilizer like 10-10-10 or 20-20-20 diluted to half strength. Do not fertilize in fall and winter. If you see brown leaf edges, you may be over-fertilizing. Flush the soil with plain water. Now let's talk about pruning. Pruning keeps your philodendron full and bushy. Without pruning, the vines get long and bare at the top. To encourage branching, cut the stems back. Cut just above a node, the bump where a leaf attaches. The plant will grow 2 new stems from that point. You can prune anytime, but spring and summer are best. Use clean scissors or pruners, and wear gloves if you're sensitive to the sap. It can irritate skin. Now let's talk about propagation. This is one of the easiest plants to propagate. You can make dozens of new plants from one vine. Take a cutting with 3 to 5 leaves and at least 1 node. Remove the bottom leaf or 2. Put the cutting in a jar of water, making sure the node is submerged but the leaves are above water. Change the water weekly. In a few weeks, you'll see roots. When the roots are 2 inches long, plant in soil. You can also plant cuttings directly in moist potting mix. Cover with a plastic bag to create humidity. Propagate in spring or summer for best results. Now let's talk about training on moss poles. In the wild, Heartleaf Philodendron climbs. Indoors, you can give it a moss pole and it will climb. The leaves get larger as the plant climbs. To train it, place a moss pole in the pot. Gently tie the stems to the pole with soft plant ties. The aerial roots will eventually attach to the pole. Mist the pole occasionally to encourage root attachment. Within a few months, your philodendron will be climbing. Now let's talk about common problems. Let's go through them one by one. Problem 1. Yellow leaves. Can be overwatering, underwatering, or natural aging. Check the soil. If it's soggy, water less. If it's bone dry, water more. If only the oldest leaves are yellowing, that's normal. Problem 2. Brown leaf edges. Low humidity or chemicals in tap water. Increase humidity. Switch to filtered or rainwater. Problem 3. Leggy growth with big gaps between leaves. Not enough light, move to a brighter spot. Problem 4. Leaves curling. Underwatering. Water deeply. Problem 5. Brown spots on leaves. Can be sunburn from direct sun or fungal spots from wet leaves. Move out of direct sun. Water at the base. Problem 6. Pests. Heartleaf philodendron can get spider mites, mealybugs, and aphids. Spider mites leave fine webbing. Increase humidity, use neem oil. Mealybugs look like white cotton. Wipe with rubbing alcohol. Aphids cluster on new growth. Spray them off with water. Problem 7. Root rot. Caused by overwatering or poor drainage. Signs are yellow leaves, mushy stems, and a bad smell from the soil. Take the plant out of the pot. Cut away rotten roots. Repot in fresh, dry soil. Water less. Here's where you come in. Drop a comment below. Do you have a Heartleaf philodendron? Do you let it trail or climb? What's your favorite variety? I'd love to know. Now let's talk about Heartleaf philodendron versus pothos. People often confuse them. Both have heart-shaped leaves and trail, but there are differences. Philodendron leaves are thinner, more heart-shaped, and have a softer, more delicate look. Pothos leaves are thicker, waxy, and have more texture. Philodendron has cataphyls, small leaf-like structures that protect new leaves. Pothos does not. Philodendron is slightly more shade-tolerant. Both are easy, both are great. Now let's talk about cleaning leaves. Heartleaf philodendron leaves collect dust. Dust blocks light. Wipe the leaves with a damp cloth once a month. For a natural shine, use a mix of water and a drop of mild soap. Do not use commercial leaf shine sprays. Now let's talk about toxicity. Heartleaf philodendron is toxic to cats and dogs. It contains calcium oxalate crystals. If ingested, it can cause mouth irritation, drooling, vomiting, and difficulty swallowing. Keep it out of reach of curious pets. Let me give you a few quick answers to common questions. How fast does Heartleaf Philodendron grow? Fast. In good light, it can grow several feet in a year. How big does it get? The vines can reach 10 feet or more indoors. You can prune to keep it smaller. Can I grow it in water permanently? Yes, but it won't grow as large. Add a drop of fertilizer occasionally. Why are my new leaves smaller than old leaves? Not enough light. Move to a brighter spot. Can I put my philodendron outside in summer? Yes, in bright shade, no direct sun. Bring it back inside before temperatures drop below 60 degrees. Let's wrap everything up. Heartleaf Philodendron is one of the easiest and most rewarding houseplants. Give it bright indirect light for fast growth, but it tolerates low light. Water when the top 1 to 2 inches of soil are dry. Use well-draining soil with perlite. Fertilize monthly in spring and summer. Prune to keep it bushy. Propagate in water. Give it a moss pole to climb or let it trail. Wipe the leaves clean. Here's the most important thing to remember. Heartleaf Philodendron wants to live. It wants to grow. It forgives forgetful watering. It tolerates low light. It's not fussy about humidity. This is the plant for people who think they can't keep plants alive. Give it basic care and it will thrive. And once you master the heartleaf, you'll be ready for all its fancy cousins. Before you go, hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, and leave me a comment. Do you have a Heartleaf Philodendron? Does it trail or climb? What's your favorite variety? Brasil, Micans, or classic green? I'd love to know. Also, what plant should I cover next? Pothos, Monstera, Syndapsis? Let me know. Thanks for watching. Take care of your plants, and they will take care of you. See you in the next video.